Okay, guys, today we're going to do some notes real quick, just in case Zoom is down. I would like you just to copy these notes down in your notebook. 2 colors, a pen, and then some kind of ruler as well. All right, we'll put this aside, and we're going to label this side. We're going to divide it kind of into 2 parts, and this side's going to be called Slope-Intercept form. Okay, and that's basically the title of our notes today. I'm going to put a little... All right, we're going to put a little cloud around that. And when you see intercept, we're going to put a little Y above it, because you know that what we've learned last week is all about slopes of lines, rise and run or fall and run, and then about the Y-intercept, where it touches the Y-axis, okay? So now on this side, I want you to draw a graph. So you drew your Y-axis. I'm going to label it Y. All right, and then draw your X-axis, label it X, okay? I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's going on here. I'm going to use these marks, always help me to be neat here. And then it's always difficult for me to be as even with these ones, but do the best you can. Again, you don't have your graphing notebooks yet. I hear it can be this Friday. That's what I've heard. So we'll see. All right, so there is your graph. Now, from this point, I want you guys to actually draw a point here at -2. I'm going to make a big point. All right, -2. And then also we're going to go up 1 over 2 from there. So look at those 2 points and then try to draw a nice line through those. Okay. And basically this is the line you're going to take and you're going to put it into this kind of equation. And we're going to talk all about what it looks like, okay? So now, as we draw this graph here, I want you guys to rise. Actually, let's not rise and run yet. Let me label this part first. So this part here, we call that the Y-intercept. And you know that Y-intercept equals, where is it at? -2. Okay. And then now, what's going on with the slope? If I start here, I rise 1, run 2. Rise 1, run 2. We've talked about that. So the slope is 1 over 2. All right, now that we know this, 1 over 2. So now you know the slope and the Y-intercept. This is nothing new so far. These are the 2 pieces of information you need to define last week, okay? And we did that a bunch. Now I'm going to show you something that's a little different, okay? So what I want you to do is you're going to write this out, and it's going to look kind of confusing, but it's okay. We're going to get through it. Y equals mx plus b. Write that out. And we're going to turn this into, don't freak out, we're going to turn this into what you're going to be able to notice in a second. I'm going to take this orange that I just used to write slope down below, this slope here with the same color, and I'm going to write slope as part of my slope-intercept, and I'm going to color the M. The M means the slope in this equation, not the X, just the M, okay? I used to joke with my kids, Mr. M, that's what they used to call me. Mr. M's so dope, he's slope. No, that doesn't really work, but I used to say that. That's ridiculous. But now you need to understand that M is the slope, all right? And if m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So I didn't make that note down here yet, but this is going to be the b. All right? So now as I keep doing this, just take a second. Don't freak out on this. It's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and move down. We're going to call it the slope. We're going to call this the y-intercept so you have a better visual. We're going to keep going down here. We're going to call this 1/2 because we know that's the slope. And we're going to call this -2. All right, and I'm going to color these all in once again. Okay, just so you have an idea what's happening. And then, knowing this now, I'm going to put this back in this form. Watch what's going to happen on the bottom here. So you put your slope here. You put your y-intercept here. Y and x stay the same. They do not change. Nothing's changed from yx. They stay the same, but you put your slope in there. So all you have to do when you read a line is identify the slope, identify the y-intercept, and you're good to go. All right? Then you're good to go. So let me get kind of a finished product here. That doesn't look that clean, but at least you get an idea that now this graph turned into this equation. All right? How do you know this? -2 is always at the end of your equation. That's your y-intercept. You find the slope, and you write out your equation. Okay? We're going to go over this today, hopefully, if we can, depending on how things work. But just kind of look at these notes. Always keep them to the side here. You have to memorize this. This idea of the slope goes here. Y equals the slope, x, plus the y-intercept. How do you know what order? Slope-intercept form. And we're going to do this a ton, and you can always have your notes out for this too. I have no problem with that. All right, guys.